Welcome to Happy Hour. I'm Crystal and thanks for hanging out with me. Today, I'm doing a boring thing that I've already talked about, which is I'm drinking the Wild Turkey 101 proof bourbon mixed with Coke Zero. I just have been in a bourbon mood, and as I mentioned previously, it's a little too strong at least for drinking on the weeknight. So if it were a weekend, then I could probably just drink this straight. But it's not, so I'm mixing it, which prevents me from drinking too much as well. So today what I'm bringing you is a little different for my channel because previously I've mostly anyway, talked about beauty stuff, but I am not just interested in beauty, so I wanted to talk about some other things. And recently I saw on Jenna Marbles' channel that she listed some stuff she's not great at in being an adult. And I thought, that's actually a good thing to do because I am not great at plenty of things as an adult. Her goal was to become more accountable. I can't say that I will become more accountable after putting this on the internet because I don't really work that way. Like, people can tell me your shit's a mess and I'm all, yeah, I know, but whatever. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about it and see what else everybody else kind of sucks at being an adult. So for the record, I am a full-fledged adult. I am 34, almost 35, so I have had plenty of time to get better at this stuff, and I have not yet. Some of it is like kind of, you could have predicted it, and other stuff, I'm just not great at. And a lot of it kind of ties together with the whole thing about how I've said before that I'm lazy. So yeah, I did make a little list here so that I don't forget the things that were like top of mind. So I'm just gonna get started. And the first thing on my list is cleaning, which is a little bit of a subjective thing to say because I would never, well, not never, but I would not say on a regular basis that like my living space, my house is dirty. The exception being, as I've mentioned before, my backyard is a big mud pit, unless the ground is frozen or it hasn't been wet outside in a while. But when it is a big mud pit, and this goes to the lazy part, I don't clean things up right away because the dog goes in and out. And when I had two dogs, it was two dogs going in and out. And one, as I have mentioned before, was a pit bull. And so he had big paws. Like my beagle, she has medium-sized paws, bordering on tiny. But my pit bull he had plenty of big paws, and he also had big jowls. So he would not only bring mud in on his paws, but sometimes on his mouth because, he's got like his sticks and all that stuff outside. So anyway, cleaning. Aside from the not being dirty thing, I am not tidy. That's my biggest problem. Like, I'm not gonna show you guys what my house looks like, but I'm not tidy. I just will set things down and then I deal with them later, and later sometimes turns into a few weeks. Because I'm lazy, as I've mentioned. I work a full-time job, so it's not like I'm sitting at home all day doing nothing. But sometimes I get home from work and I'm tired. I don't want to do anything. I just want to watch TV or play video games or snuggle with my pets. And since it's the winter time, it's often dark by the time I get home, so it's not like I'm motivated to go outside and do anything. So I save my tidying up for the weekend, which I don't always do on the weekend. Sometimes I just don't do it. So that kind of brings us to the next thing, which is laundry. And this has a caveat, which is that it's not like I'm wandering around wearing dirty clothes all the time. My clothes, I will admit, I will rewear things because who doesn't? I mean, unless you're filthy, I'm not gonna wash that thing, my jeans or my shirt or whatever. I'm not gonna wear it once and wash it because lazy, and I feel like it's better for your clothes to maybe get a few wearings out of it. Like you don't want to go through the wash as much, etc. But the part, so I'm good at, I get the stuff when it's ready. You know, I get it in the laundry basket. I get it in the washer and it gets washed, and that's fine. I even usually can get it to the dryer because I mean, obviously if you leave stuff in the washer too long, it gets icky, you know, and then you have to rewash it, and then you feel like an even bigger failure. So I get it to the dryer and it gets dry. The part that I really suck at is getting it from the dryer to wherever it needs to go, whether that is in a drawer, in the closet, in storage, if it's like, you know, if it's the transition season where I'm not wearing winter clothes, and so I'm like, I need to put those away. I often spend much of my time going to the dryer to get my clean clothes to put on, and I only empty the dryer out when I need to put something else in it. Hopefully I am not the only person that does this, but so I live alone other than with my horde of pets. Not horde, but you know, borderline zoo. So there's nobody else needing my washer and dryer, and so I just don't do it. I have, for the record, never been great at laundry. I've been doing laundry for, I don't know, 20 years probably. I've never been great at it. Even when I was a kid, like so there were 6 kids in my family, and the reason I've been doing laundry since I was 14, maybe even younger, is because, you know, it got to a point where my mom was like, you need to do your own clothes. I'm the oldest, so like there were really filthy younger children in baby clothes that needed to be washed, that, you know, so I got to do my own. But even then, like I would just take the full basket, carry it to my room, and then pull shit out of there. So this is not a new problem in my adulthood. This is just something that you're supposed to be responsible and like get done when you're an adult. And I guess if I had kids, then I might be better at it, I hope. Or I would have a husband that was good at it. I'm not good at laundry. So next on my list of things I am not fantastic at is yard maintenance. So I live in a house. I have a mortgage on this house, but so I own it. So I'm 100% responsible for the maintenance of the yard, at least in the back. I am lucky enough to live in a community where we have maintenance dudes that handle like the mowing of the grass and the weeding and all that shit in the exterior stuff. Anything that's enclosed, meaning inside my house, as goes back to the cleaning thing, and in my yard, in the back, I am responsible for. The other thing that I'm responsible for is like shoveling this little steps and the entry little pad thingy to get up to my front door and my driveway. I have shoveled once this winter, and that was only because I needed to get out to go to, I don't remember where I was going, but I was going to meet some friends for brunch. And there was like 6 inches of snow, and my little Prius can't get out of 6 inches of snow. Otherwise, I'm not great at yard maintenance. I love having a yard when I have one, and I'm gonna have some yard space when I get my backyard done. But mowing it is gonna be, such a pain in my ass. I'm gonna have flowers. There are gonna be weeds. I just know it right now because I suck at maintaining my yard. Next up is being patient. Patience is not something I have ever possessed. This is, again, it goes back to my childhood. It's one of those things that, you know, you would see as you're a kid, you see adults that appear to be patient, and it's like, I don't know, you think it's just gonna come with adulthood? And I'm just not one of those people. You know, if, for example, let's just take mail, like packages. I have been trained by Amazon that because I have Amazon Prime, my packages are just, you know, they just show up, like I order something and they show up within a couple of days. Not everywhere works like that. am horrible at wait. Like, I will forget that not every place has Amazon Prime. So I sit there and like I'll order from, you know, let's say Mac. I love ordering from Mac online, and they do usually have free shipping, but it's not overnight shipping. And I don't say this about Sephora because like I spend so much money at Sephora that I have free 2-day shipping through them because, again, I spend a lot of fucking money at Sephora. But Mac doesn't really, they don't have the same kind of program. So Mac stuff, while it's not like it takes a long time. It's like you order it and it's here within about a week. I'm impatient. Like, I will order it and then the next day I will forget that it's only been a day that I ordered it. So I'm like, where's my stuff? And then I go and check and oh, it's been a day. So of course I don't have my stuff. And then 2 days go by and I'm like, where's my stuff? And of course it's not there yet because it's still in Kentucky or I don't know, Kansas or wherever it stopped along the way from wherever it came from to get to me. I'm just not patient for it. And it's not just packages. Like, this is not the only thing. What was I thinking of the other day? Like, I don't remember what, and I totally just fucking spit all over the place, so that's great. I guess apparently talking without saliva in my mouth is also on my list, even though it's not on the list. I was somewhere and I was like so impatient, and so I started thinking about it and I was like, wasn't I supposed to acquire patience somewhere along the way? And the thing that I came to was that, you know, they sometimes say when I don't know about you guys because who knows if this is a Utah thing or not, but people always used to say patience is a virtue. And again, that could just be because this is a pretty religious state. There are a lot of religious people here. But I don't know if I would call patience a virtue so much as something that you need to know, but I don't know how to learn it. All right, next we've got getting and opening the mail. So first of all, when I'm talking about mail, I'm saying like a letter, like, you know, like this thing here, which is sitting in front of me because I'm not great at opening my mail. So all of my mail that is important, so like my bills and stuff, it's all paperless, it's all online. And most, if not all of it, is on auto pay because my ass forgets to pay my bills, which kind of goes in line with it. I forget to pay them because I don't open my mail because I'm terrible at it. So again, I'm not great at getting my mail either. You know, it used to be when I was a kid, like if you lived in a house, then your mail came to your house in some way. It was either like you had a little slot in, you know, the door or something, or there was a basket or a bin of some sort on the outside of the house, or you had a little mailbox down at the curb. That is now not the case anymore. Like even my parents' neighborhood, if they live in the same neighborhood that I spent my teen years in, they used to have a mailbox at the end of the driveway, and now they have like the little station where everybody's mail is. Since that happened, like in summertime it's not that bad. Like I'm pretty good at getting it in the summertime because I take the dog out and we go for walks and stuff, and on the way back we'll stop at the mailbox. In the wintertime though, when it's, you know, if the high, let's say, is 20 degrees like it was earlier this week, the last thing I want to do when I am coming home from work is, by the time I get home, like I've been in the car for however long it took, on average, let's say 20 minutes. The car is nice and toasty and warm at that point. Do I really want to get out of the car and get the mail? Which is all just going to be shit. It's all just trash. The rare exception is, like, so once a month I'll get a magazine, you know, like Vogue will come. Obviously that's not trash and I want that, but Vogue only comes once a month. All my other magazines, except Entertainment Weekly, that comes weekly generally. All the other ones come once a month. Everything I want that's in my mailbox comes once a month. So like all my subscription boxes, once a month. Everything I want once a month. But you know what comes at least once a week? Those little, you know, it looks kind of like a magazine, but it's not stapled because they have all like those ads and coupons and all that stuff. I don't want that. I am not the kind of person that I don't clip coupons. I don't even think about it because it just does not occur to me. I don't want that mail. And realistically, I would like the post office to implement some sort of, like, figure out a thing, a payment thingy, a subscription, where I will pay you X number of dollars either a year or a month or whatever, and you just don't deliver shit to me. I just get the things that I want. You know, like, the last time I got in an envelope in the mail something that I wanted, it's close to the beginning of the year, so I got a tax document. And I do want that because I need that to file my taxes. Otherwise, like, what do I want? My insurance card? And like, if I get a new credit card, those are the things that I want. I don't want anything else. When I do finally get it, I just set it down in the house, going back to the cleaning thing, the not tidy. So among the not tidiness is there like stacks of mail all over the place that I will look. So when I get the mail, I like sort it out. This is something maybe I should open, and this is definitely just shit. So the stacks of things that I maybe should open is like something that it doesn't say who it's from, which is usually also just crap. Like, it's just junk, but once in a while, it's not. There's a rare occasion that it's not. So you gotta open those. Anyway, I feel like mail in general is something that you like when you're a kid. You want mail. You totally want mail. And then when you're like an older person, my gram loves to go get the mail. She loves it. But her mail is also attached to her house, so it's a lot easier. She just has to go down some stairs. I have to walk clear down the street. Okay, so the next thing on my list, similar to the other things, but it's a little more specific in some ways, or it's a little more broad depending on how you want to look at it, but it is doing the shit that I need to do. So as I mentioned, I live by myself. There's stuff that only I can do. So like, my best example is that I moved at the end of September. So I have now been in this house for several months. Do you think I'm done unpacking? No, not by a long shot. To the point that it's not even like, oh, I unpacked all of my necessities. I mean, I'm not lacking for anything necessarily, but there are some things that I'm like, it's in a box in the garage, like my coffee grinder. That thing is in a box in the garage, and I don't know which box it's in. And it wouldn't be that hard to just, like take a box a night and unpack it, but no, I don't do it because I'm not good at doing things that I need to do. Like unloading the dishwasher is another of those things. Like, that dishwasher will stay full with clean dishes that I will just pull out. It's like the laundry thing. I'll pull them out one at a time, and then they get dirty, so I just stack them in the sink, and then I'm gonna do the dishes later. To tie into that, the next thing I have on here is making the most of my weekend. I know a lot of people, like, they will get up, maybe not at the same time that they get up during the week to go to work. Sorry, I have a hair like sticking in my face. But they'll get up like early-ish. I can't remember the last time I willingly got up before about 11 a.m. on the weekend. And I say willingly because, like, sometimes one of my pets will wake me up and I just can't fall back asleep, or I will have plans that require me to get up. So those are not the times that I'm talking about, although I would love for the pets to just let me sleep in. But, when little kitty needs her snuggles, she needs her snuggles. There's nothing you can do about that. So I will sleep until like 11 or 12. It kind of is, it depends on when I went to bed. So if I was out the night before, it can be much later than that. We're not going to talk about how late that can be. But I get up, I get my coffee. And then instead of doing things while I'm drinking my coffee, I am like playing around on Facebook or reading crap on my phone, like, a news feed or something. And it's not always the news feed. Sometimes it's like the entertainment news feed, but that's news-ish. So by the time I get done with all that stuff and rolling around, then I'll look at the clock and it's like 1 or 2. And then instead of doing something, I will often like turn on the TV or get my book out or play a video game. Or if I'm still drinking coffee, I will sometimes put some liquor in my coffee at that point of the day. So basically it turns out to be 5 or 6 before I get around to doing anything. And then, you know, it's 5 or 6. And then it's like, it's wintertime, so it's dark. And some of the places that I maybe had intended to go to could be closed. Because I live in a state where things close at 5 or 6 on a Saturday. And I wish that was a joke. But seriously, we have local businesses that close that early. I don't agree with it. But I'm not a small business owner, so maybe that's just the most profitable time because I'm clearly not their target customer. Because their target customer are the people who get up at like 8 or 9 on the weekend and they actually do something with their time. So this next thing is, it again goes back to being lazy. But I am terrible at making dinner for myself. And when I say that, I'm meaning like, I'll have these grandiose plans, like, oh, I'm gonna make this awesome soup, or I'm gonna make a casserole, and it's gonna be tasty, or I'm gonna make a turkey burger, and then the evening comes around. And these are plans that I have usually while I'm at work, you know, while I have plenty of time to either be working or thinking about dinner. I get home from work and I'm like, so I don't really feel like cooking. And again, there's nobody to make me cook. So basically, I sit every night and I'm like, well, what am I gonna eat? And then you go to the easy options, which are sandwich. And I'm not talking like a nice sandwich. I'm talking like cheese with turkey and mayonnaise or peanut butter and jelly. You know, these are not fancy sandwiches. Once in a while, if I am getting fancy, I will make a grilled cheese because that takes more than 2 minutes to throw together because you gotta like wait and let it flip and go back and all that stuff. On nights that I don't do a sandwich, I mean, some nights I'm just not hungry, so that probably doesn't help things either. But I totally will be like, you know, I see Olivia Pope eating popcorn and drinking wine for dinner all the time. Like 50% of the time you see that woman eating on Scandal, more than 50% of the time actually, she's eating popcorn and drinking wine. And so I will pull up Pope and I will just have popcorn and either wine or, you know, tonight it's the bourbon and Coke. I'm not saying I'm gonna have popcorn for dinner. I haven't thought that far ahead. Next is, it's kind of a bad one. Getting my oil changed. I suck at that. I know there are people out there that can do it by themselves, and I am not one of them. Even if I didn't drive a hybrid, because like I said, I drive a Prius, I would not know how to change my oil because that is disgusting. It's a dirty thing. Like, it's not like you go into and you're good at changing oil. No, you gotta have trial runs. You gotta practice, and there's dirt. I've seen the inside of an engine. It's not clean. And as I mentioned, I'm shit at doing laundry, so I don't need to be getting in that grease pit. So my car, it starts to warn me several hundred miles before it needs to have maintenance done. So it has a little, it has a display that's like this big, seriously, no joke. It's like the size of a playing card that says maintenance required soon or something along those lines. Like I said, that's for several hundred miles. It may even be for 500 miles before it needs maintenance. And I sit there and I see it every time I turn the car on and I'm like, yeah, I should totally do that. Like, I need to get that done. And in the past, my excuse has been, well, I either have to get up earlier on the weekend, which we know I won't do, or I have to miss time at work. And as lazy as I am, I don't like missing work for things because I feel like that's really irresponsible. I am lazy, but ethical. So, you know, great for me. So that used to be my excuse. Now, the places you get your oil changed, which for the record, again, because I drive a Prius, I usually just go to the dealership to get my oil changed. Also, I work within a few blocks of the dealership. Not a few blocks, but within reasonable distance. So it's close enough. There's no reason to not do it. But I will go those several hundred miles where it's saying you need to get maintenance soon, and I'll think about it. And then you hit the time that you need to do it, and it, instead of you need to get it soon, which is just like a thing that flashes up for like 5 or 10 seconds, it just stays on and it says you need to get maintenance. Just go get that shit done. And I don't always do it. Even then, I'm so lazy on getting it done. And especially because I know like the actual oil in my car it only needs to be changed every 10,000 miles. So when I'm on one of those in between, so like for like a 15, that's what I just had done. I was at like 15.5 when I had it done, by the way, because I'm bad at getting it done. But I was like, it's not even the oil that needs to be changed. It's like they're gonna check other stuff, like my windshield wiper fluid, which is, I will but I will replace my windshield wiper fluid. That's the only thing that I will do. But they're gonna do that and then like check my tire pressure. You know what? If my tires are low, there's a little icon that comes up, and I take that shit to Costco and they fill it up for me. So yeah, I put it off and I put it off and I put it off until I'm over the limit and need to get it done. And basically this is one of the reasons that I buy newer cars with great technology, so that it's not gonna actually destroy my car to wait like it would if my car were 20 years old. So my last thing is being on time, being punctual. I'm not good at it. This is another one of those things that harkens back to childhood, and it's again one of those things that I thought I was gonna figure out and learn somewhere along the way. I am not a punctual person, and it's not like I sit there and go, I'm just gonna look at my phone and, oh, my phone says I need to be somewhere in half an hour, so I'm just gonna wait. No, it's that I'm doing something that is leading up to me leaving. Like it's not like I'm sitting there and I am, screwing around 30 minutes before I need to leave. I'm not playing video games. I'm not watching television. Like I'm literally doing something that I need to do to get ready, whether that's like brushing my teeth, putting on my clothes, doing my makeup, or whatever. And if it is not a super important thing, like if I'm not gonna get charged for it, like I am never late for my massage appointment because I'm gonna get charged for that shit. Or like the doctor or something like that. I'm just late. I am late all the time. And I don't know how it happens because it's not, again, like I'm doing it on purpose, and it's not like I'm sitting there just going, I'm just gonna sit here and wait till the last minute and leave. No, I'm preparing the whole time. I just lose track of time. It's like there's a time genie that is sitting there going, she has some extra 10 minutes. I'm just gonna take that away and take an extra 10 minutes after that. So I always have to tell my friends, if they really want me somewhere by a specific time, they need to at least tell me 30 minutes prior to that. Just so that I can be there on time. I mean, and I really try. I do. I seriously try. But if something does not require a specific time, then I will say, I'll be there around 7-ish. Sometime between 7 and 7:30. Let's not make a reservation because I'm probably not gonna be there when you need to be. There's nothing to me that has to be done like right now. Everything can wait. It's not a big deal. It can wait. I don't like to rush myself, and I don't like to be stressed out over stuff that doesn't matter. So for me, it's like time is this thing. It's intangible, it's like it's ephemeral. And it's to an extent, it's something that we have invented. And I'm just not good at following those guidelines. Unfortunately, that does not mean that I am any younger. So I'm still an adult. I'm an adult who is an asshole that is never on time for anything. So yeah, that's it. That's the end of my list. Tell me what you're bad at. Tell me what you're good at. I'd love to see if you guys are awesome at some of this stuff. Let me know, because maybe you'll inspire me to do better at those things for, if nothing else, a short period of time. Thanks again for hanging out with me. Cheers until next time. Have a good one. Bye.